Well, we never know what to do, but we always come out fine, right? We'll be fine. So this is the highest court in Great Britain. The Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? So different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh! Yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. No, but I just can't help it. What? Dracula? What's this now? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. Dracula and Santa Claus, huh? Oh, we love that. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next born victim to the underworld, and I sure hope it's not me. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. It couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me, Nipponese. I'm not sure if that's actually a slur, but I'm just reading what I'm seeing here, so if it is a slur, just know I don't mean it. It shrouds your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. You run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Cold shiver just ran up my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. I hate it here. I want out. I can't do this. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. Stand accused of murder. A capital offence. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a kind thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fellow is a student from some little island off in the far east. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a chance? I'd like to think that actions of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded! What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Although, please, may we go and play in McGilded Park? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. This should be easy, right? It's definitely welcome news. He certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded. The most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Any criminals here would soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting now. Let's finish these mitts before my grandson.
Oh, Mr. Nuttlehuddle, those people are... The jury, yes. It's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinion of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. And how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know. But can't you whip out your big ass book? I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yeah, we're always winging it, it should be fine, right? Yes. Prosecutor Von Zeeks. My lord. Oh my god, I can't with the vocal fry. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. 5 years. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance which the court should be aware? Can we just get on with the trial, please? I'll leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Nuttlehuddle. Okay. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Sorry, thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. These are... Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilden's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. Not looking good. How did I get into this? I backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers travelling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2. Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded! To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilting, so it is. And when I open my eyes again, 'tis was a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I've never laid eyes on before me in my life. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got on the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the drivers is only the beginning. Well, that's not all of it. There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Looks like this trial's about to ruin our posture. Order! Order! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the Far East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a baker in the city.
My name's First. Lady First. I make hats for gents.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, All of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. It was the last post of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Well, that's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. Then I saw it too. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident to the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As had been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. How quaint. I've read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you ever travelled in an omnibus? Bro, just go here. No. Only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes? The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus! So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they would bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses, and they can carry up to 8 passengers. Four passengers are seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had on the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These two gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats of this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Oh, makes perfect sense now. Well, Counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well. I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Well, why don't we take the opportunity now? Alright. The door. Oh, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Oh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Yeah, well, what's new? It's our third time now. Alright, let's have a look. The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really. Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here. Well, that sucks. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? Excuse me! Honestly. It's not my fault. It's not our fault we get upskirted. Goodness. Ah, the blood stain. Is it? There's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of other passengers like that, I wonder? How silly. It was after dark, and there's light in here. There was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Shouldn't have done it in the first place, but alright. I mean, not alright, but whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. My god, I cannot... The seat has a handle, it seems. Ah, some things inside. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. I don't imagine it would be convenient for that purpose anyway. Skylight we've heard so much about. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. There doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. There might be something outside, we'll have to see later. Poster, what's this? The Eiffel Tower? It's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. So it's February... August, is it? There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Sorry, I thought it was the Eiffel Tower. Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. Interesting. I'm not sure if there's anything... Oh, perhaps this would be of use, maybe? Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. I think this is the same. So I'm gonna skip that, sorry, I apologize. Okay, I think we've seen all 4 walls, so let's try to check out... Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then. Yeah, let's see. The roof deck. And apparently Susato-san can't come with us. Goodness. I'm surprised you didn't have anything to say. Yeah, let's look at the roof deck. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them. They have to pay money to do so. Yes, Yunosuke, you have to pay for everything. I can't imagine how cold it must feel. Layer up. It's just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Yeah, would it be better than getting hanged, maybe? Like, maybe we can compromise? Perhaps that's the real price you pay to stay out late. Curfew people, are you? Alright. Phoenix Wright Omnibus. What's a Phoenix Wright? We can't look at that. Good heavens. Interesting. Wonder why that's there. Phoenix Wright. Alright, I think we've seen enough here. Let's look at this obvious stain. This is definitely blood, isn't it? The most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Not sure if that's going to help our case, to be honest. Believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand earlier. If only he had been left-handed. Like, whether you're right or left-handed, like, I'm pretty sure you can stab. It's not like you don't use your left hand if you're right-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Yeah, exactly. Pretty sure Susato has a similar sentiment to me. Alright, looks like a clear-cut case. He's been stabbed. Alright, we haven't seen this yet. Alright, so 15th of February. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying in an omnibus. Died to internal hemorrhaging resulting from trauma. Is that all? Nothing else of note? Alright, I apologise if that took long, but I did want to be thorough here. Let us continue with proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Ooh. Pray, don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. Alright. First cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Yunosuke! Focus! Okay, so I don't see anything we can immediately contradict, so I guess all we can really do is press. Right. Yes, I think it was some time after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, that's right, sir. Yes, it was so cold it was. Freezing, in fact. Still got chills even now. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all travelling in the same parts of the bus, of course. Oh, no. And there were no other passengers when the incident took place? No one alighted, for example? Quite right with that, sir. No passengers like that. No one. None. So nobody fled the scene of the crime then? Allegedly. I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Every evening. That last boss of the day. I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? What, with it being so cold and everything. I make 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spent that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Rough. And you saw them through the skylight and the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. Right. Ah, I forgot to check if there was something on the skylight from above. BRB! Oh, shoot.
Let me see the skylight.
You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. I've been able to see quite clearly. It's no good for us. Okay. Pretty good view. The two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Oh, suspicious. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilden. How can you be so sure? Well, I can put it politely. Mr. McGilden is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilden. There is no room for doubt here. I really wish there was. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. Is that how it played out? You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Didn't I already testify to that? Oh, you fair dinkum. A hard-working city banker is not considered trustworthy these days. No, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if that's... My lord! Juror number 3. What's the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up.
Made up about what?
I don't like the stinking rich. Never have, never will. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me.
Oh no.
There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway.
Did we screw up?
That is precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
This is not looking good. What is happening here? Hello? Let me see. Oh yes, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts, by throwing flames, cool. With fire! Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that it doesn't happen. Yes, sir. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Oh, should I not press too much? Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. You stabbed him, you say? You were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gentleman sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see. I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. Yeah, you mind getting a hat that doesn't slip as much as distracting. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out of his belly. A huge great knife. Grim sight indeed. That didn't help me at all. The jury looked like they were even more convinced that my client did it than they ever were before. It appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Yeah, well, I'm not saying anything that helps right now. Personally. Mr. First! Yes, sir! Is this the knife you saw? Good grief, yes, that's it, the very one, sir. I mean... Oh. Never mind. Is that... Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. Furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no! M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. Seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake. We love the alliteration. Oh, not this again. But there are M's everywhere. Yes! Like in Mason!
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No. This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Maybe... conclusive, but certainly compelling counsel. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. What now? Juror number 2. Go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. What are you going to do? Dispose of the rubbish! No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion.
Not again! It's 4 out of 6 juries who have proposed a guilty verdict. Only 2 left. We've had it.